Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. So, Michigan will play Alabama in the Citrus Bowl. Before I get into that, I just want to talk about Tariq Black said he's transferring. He entered the transfer portal, and I wish him the best. I was hoping Tariq was going to stay and try to maximize full off season healthy and everything, but he's not happy. I'm not sure if that's because Nico might stay or DPJ might stay. Who knows. But I always liked Tariq because he's been through a lot with the injuries and stuff and trying to come back from that or whatever. But I wish him the best. We got plenty of receivers, so it's not gonna hurt us like that. So now let's just get into it. I'm gonna run over some of Bama stats, and then I'm gonna get into what I really think. So we all know Tua's out. So Mac Jones is the quarterback. He's 69% on the year, 11 TDs, 3 picks. He's got 1,176 yards throwing. Najee Harris, we almost got him to Michigan. He went to Bama. He's got 1,088 yards on the year, 5.9 yards a carry. He's got 304 receiving yards and 18 total TDs. And Brian Robinson's the backup. He's got 425 yards and 5 rushing TDs. The receivers, they got good receivers. We all know that. They got Jerry Jeudy. He's got 71 receptions, 959 yards, 13.5 yards a catch, 9 TDs. Second leading receiver, well, the top leading receiver is Devontae Smith. He's got 65 receptions, 1,200 yards, 18.5 yards a catch, and 13 TDs. So he's going to take the top off. On defense, the leading tackler is Xavier McKinney. He's got 85 total tackles. And then you got Shane Lee. He's got 77 tackles. So with this game, for Michigan to be in this game, to win this game, I believe they're gonna have to find some type of rushing game. And which I don't believe we'll be able to run the ball on them, honestly, because we haven't ran it well on good teams. So, with that being said, if we can't run it, most of their secondary is young, so that's why that's kind of their weakness is the secondary. So, I don't doubt that we'll be able to pass it pretty well. The problem will be once we do show what we want to do, will Gaddis be able to adjust once they make adjustments so we can continue to pass it? Or will he honestly, he needs to do quick screens, plays to the flat, throws to the flat, things like that. And that's an extension of the running game. So if he can do things like that and still be able to mix it up with throws downfield, we might have a chance. But honestly, the big thing about this game is Don Brown. Will Don Brown give us a chance? Because we're already undersized at defensive tackle. We know that. And it was exposed by Wisconsin and OSU. So will the defensive tackles, what's Don Brown's scheme for that? And not only that, will he be dumb enough to be running this man blitz and leaving our safeties on an island and doing all that stuff? If he does that, we're going to get blown out. It's just the truth. Like, if Don Brown is dumb enough to do what he did against OSU, trying to run man and still want to run that man scheme, you're going to get rolled, dog. You talking about roll tide? They're going to roll tide right on over us. But the fact that we have undersized D tackles and undersized linebackers, except for McGrone, it's probably going to lead to them having 200 yards rushing anyway. So even without them exposing Don Brown's scheme, they're going to be able to run the ball on us most likely and run for a lot of yards. So when that happens, then you have play action pass because now you're looking in the backfield. Then you get susceptible to play action passes. So for us to even stay in this game and to have it a chance, it's all about stopping their run game. and Don Brown. Don Brown's whole scheme, because he wanted smaller D defensive tackles and all that to be able to get after the quarterback and stuff like that. But it messes it up for you because you need defensive tackles to take up blocks so your linebackers can run free, and we don't have that right now. So we'll see if he tries to play Chris Hinton and Mozzie Smith, but they don't look like it. It says they're 300 pounds. I don't even think they're 300 pounds either. I think they're about 290, 295. You need 310, 315, 3. LSU, some teams got 350-pound defensive tackles, but we don't have that right now. So with that being said, and then Don Brown's blitz scheme, this is looking like we probably going to get rolled, but who knows? That's why you play the game. But will we be able to pass protect? The pass protection has looked pretty good. So we did pretty well against OSU and contained Chase Young for the most part until the second half when the game was just out of reach. So that's the big thing right there. Hopefully we can get to the goal is to get to the quarterbacks. So we want to get to Mac Jones without blitzing. You want to get to a quarterback without blitzing, without having to bring 5 and 6 dudes. So we'll see if that can happen. But if we can't stop the run, y'all, it's going to get ugly, because that means they'll be able to do whatever they want to do. And Don Brown's going to have to start blitzing and putting our safeties on an island. And he wants to do that stuff anyway, so he gonna do it. So the only hope for us to be close in this game is on Don Brown, basically. It's on Don Brown to come up with a decent defensive game plan. But besides that, I wanted to talk about Michigan, and I don't know if some of y'all been watching the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson, what he's doing. And I kind of had an epiphany last night on what Harbaugh might want to do. If I'm Harbaugh, I'm reaching out to my brother this offseason, and I'm gonna try to implement some of the stuff that the Ravens are doing with Lamar Jackson, as far as the running game, the pistol, and you got a fullback, a tight end back there with him, and all that. And I want to maximize my running game, especially if you're trying to say Dylan and Joe can't throw that well or whatever. I don't really believe that too much, but what I'm saying is, you do that because Harbaugh wants to run the ball anyway. So you keep some of the stuff Gaddis does. You implement some of the stuff that the Ravens are doing right now, and you can come out and try to have the best run game in the Big Ten, or one of the best in the country. You want to run for 200 plus yards a game. So I know our quarterback, before people say we don't have Lamar Jackson, I know. But we can have a running game where our quarterback picks up about 50, 60, 70 yards a game with what our running backs are doing. And it's going to be hard to stop, especially a dude like Joe or even Dylan. My only worry is Dylan can't handle the hits. But a dude like Joe, where you're running it all the time, whether it's read, giving it to the back, and it's going to be so hard to contain. But because you got so many blockers in the backfield and the misdirection stuff. So I would hope that Harbaugh sees what they're doing, and you implement some of that stuff. Talk to your brother and see what they're doing on offense and add some of that to the offense, because whether it's Dylan or if it's Joe, both of them can run the ball. So you want to maximize what they can do best, and that's running the ball. So that's just a thought I had of what can make our offense even better and maximize what our players do best, what the two quarterbacks that we might have do best. So because some of those play designs are just magical, and this is the NFL we're talking about. So if I'm Harbaugh, I'm reaching out this offseason to see what to learn some of their scheme and implementing that stuff in the offseason right now. Because you want to come out and have like the top running game, be a top running team like OSU is this year, and come off the play action pass and once you got a team so worried about the run, then you can do what you want over the top, and you can still do the speed and space stuff. It's just making your offense as potent as possible. You want to have plays for everything. That's the point. You want to have plays for every situation and do it like that. But that's just a thought I had. That's just a thought I had. But that's all I got for this one, y'all. I'll probably go live again sometime next week or this weekend, and we'll talk about the playoff and things like that. But as always, like, share, subscribe, and the audio will be on the Anchor app. But as always, go blue.